You just turned on. You just turned on. Natural on the way. Natural on the way. Better known as. Now. This is where independence is celebrated. So if you're ready to catch these waves, then let's go. Everybody, and welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast, where you already know what we do. We talk about life here, and today it is the Naturally on a Wave interview segment. We have artists joining us, and I'm so excited. Their brand new music that they're bringing to the podcast. So I'm going to have them say their name, where they're from, and what genre and style of music that you do.
So we are Equal Frequencies. Our genre of music is electronic pop. And we are from Huddersfield, England.
Love it, yep. Love it.
And my name's Rob.
Perfect. So you guys have been releasing music for a while now. So just give us a little bit of background, a brief background on each of how you got started in your musical journeys and how that kind of led to electronic pop.
Okay, so I started playing music when I was 3 years old as a classical pianist. I started on the violin when I was 7. I progressed to writing my own pop music when I was 18, got a studio together. And ever since then I've been writing kind of electronic pop. And I met Rob in 2007 and we started a project then which had a different name. And we progressed in 2009 to writing the Equal Frequencies material you're going to hear.
Okay.
Rob?
Yeah, well, I started a bit different to that because most of the incredible things that you've got now just weren't around. I mean, if you wanted a guitarist, you got a guitarist. You didn't get a keyboard that played guitar, you got a guitarist. So it was very different. And I think I was always interested in music from being a kid. You know, I used to play on the piano and annoy my parents and things like that. My mother wouldn't let me play the piano because my father was a bit of a stickler and he'd give my sister a bad time when she was playing, so I never really got to play the piano. I did a little bit of recorder when I was at school, and it wasn't until I was about 14 that I teamed up with this guy and we did pubs and clubs, working men's clubs they're called, when I was 14, and that was very, very interesting and I enjoyed it immensely. Later on, I joined a band called Rolling Storm and the Typhoons, and that was great because it was a comedy rock and roll band. Now, rock and roll is not necessarily my favourite music, but I really enjoyed playing it and I really enjoyed the band. And he used to play 3 saxophones at once, so it was quite a great band to be in. And I love comedy, so I fitted in reasonably well. And I did that for a year, and then I got sciatica. And I went on a totally different course. I went into higher education, got a degree in history and politics, various jobs, Yorkshire Electric, Kirklees Council, which was really entertaining because dealing with the members of the public like you do, it can be quite funny at times. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. And then one day, I've always been bumping into Ro, actually, because I knew her, but I didn't really know her. And she was the daughter of a friend's daughter. And when she was really young, I remember running under my arm and said, "Who's that?" And they said, "That's Ro." So when we eventually got together, I heard some of her music. And to be honest, you know, I wasn't really particularly a great friend of the new music, the dance music, but I put this tape on and the melody lines and the things in it, and I was just blown away. I was absolutely blown away. So we just got together and all this new technology came out. But I have to say that she is the genius because the new technology goes completely over my head. So there you have it.
Rob hasn't said, but he was a drummer and he learned the drums when he was 14.
Yeah.
And that's when he joined that band that he mentioned. He was a drummer.
I was a drummer, yeah, but I wasn't. I've been drumming. I was 28 when I joined that the band Ronnie Storm and the Typhoons. Give Ronnie a good plug because if he's about, it was good fun. It was good fun. You either like that kind of thing, you don't.
Yeah, so clearly there's an age difference, but you guys are a couple, which is beautiful, and I love that. So kind of explain a little bit how the couple plays into making your music together. Does that kind of get a little bit sticky sometimes, or is it amazing just through and through?
Well, I would say it's absolutely amazing because Rob will come up with some lyrics and he'll beaver away at the lyrics and he'll make it perfect. He'll give it to me and I'll go away and I'll turn it into a song. I'll use my studio and I'll turn it into a song. And then when I play it back to Rob, he's like, "Wow, it's amazing! How did you do that?"
Yeah, I am, and I'm just absolutely blown away. There's some saxophone music on the new album, and I believe there's saxophone music in the other albums. But it's like, wow, did you do that on the keyboard? How did you do that? That is just so magnificent. As to my words, well, I'm my own worst critic, Perfect is not a word, but it's great. It's fantastic. And the great thing about it is, all my life I've mixed with either artists or musicians, and I've written words and things like that. I used to have a friend, we used to go to Huddersfield parties, which was one of the most boring things you could do because everybody got slowly drunk and I didn't drink. So my friend, brilliant guitarist, Colin Weevil, brilliant guitarist, and he used to play along, and then I used to make up the words on the spot, and it became extremely popular. So, whatever, I used to make it up on the spot. So that was popular. It was also helpful, to what I do now. So it was just a steady build-up. But if you would ask me before I met Rowena, would I have been doing a podcast, an American podcast, I would just have laughed at you. You've got a brilliant imagination. It's just been absolutely incredible. That's the only way that, we've had ups and downs, not usually in the marriage, but it's the outside world that comes into interfere, you see, sometimes. So
absolutely. So I want to switch gears a little bit here and talk specifically about what you guys speak about in your music, because nowadays it has become very much more prevalent to talk about news and current events that are going on in your music, and you guys do that. So could you explain a little bit about talking about UK news in your music and incorporating that into what you put out now?
Well, to be honest, as a pair, we've been pretty horrified by what's been going on in the world over the last few years. Some things have to be said, and our way of saying it is through our music.
Yeah.
Without a platform to speak, there's nothing you can do. And actually, to make any difference, we wanted to voice our opinions and the opinions of a lot of other people that haven't been said through our music.
What we all want is the truth. What is going on? Why is it going on? And I sort of figured that one out as well. but they may close you down if you tell you.
Yeah, right, exactly. I 100% agree with your views as far as everything that's going on in the world. That's really why I do this podcast, is because it's so much going on in the world, and I'm trying my best to bring some type of positivity when there's so much negative and so much untruth, as you said, going on. So I 100% agree, and I appreciate that you guys put that into your music. So talking about back to your music, how do you use your views and opinions to create your music? And are you surprised at how much of the following that you've created around surrounding your music?
Well, yeah, because especially with the new album, we've had an unprecedented number of streams and downloads and views on
Congratulations.
the new album, more than we've had on any other album that we've done.
Wow.
And
amazing.
We have particularly gone into some Christian themes as well as some political themes. And we actually wrote a song about the film The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, we did.
Because we saw the film in the cinema, and it affected us so badly that Rob wanted to write a song about child sex trafficking because it was such a poignant issue. And we wrote this song, The Sound of Freedom, and we sent it up to Angel Studios, who made the film, and they actually responded to us saying how beautiful it was.
They liked it, and that meant, more to me than all the money in the world, because I wanted to further publicise the film. It took them, 5 years
to get it through,
to get it out. So takes them 5 years to get a film out about child abuse. Why is that?
There were so many roadblocks put in their way as they tried to get the film onto general release. It took them 5 whole years to get it out there. And the message is so important because it's something that everybody needs to know about, because it's one of the greatest problems that there are around the world. I mean, it's just totally horrendous. And the film is very moving and very challenging, and the guy involved in it, just an amazing hero.
The guy that went into the jungle to...
Tim Ballard is called.
Tim Ballard to get... If you're listening, Tim, Ace, you're just the kind of person that makes this world a better place, and I can't encourage you or praise you enough for what you did. You epitomise courage, and it must have taken a lot of courage. So anybody listening, go see the film, The Sound of Freedom. Then you will understand the beginning, and you will understand the end with the drums. Just go and see it. They don't want you to go and see it. Go and do yourself a favour. Go and see it.
Absolutely. I'm trying my best to act like nothing has happened, but we've been trying to get this interview done for months, and I'm actually glad that it's been held off for a while, because all this information, this new information, is really great, and it's really relevant to exactly what's going on today. We're trying to extract the truth. We all want the truth, and I think it's amazing that you guys are pushing the issue, not only within this interview, but within your music, and it's incredible. And I'm super thankful that you guys were able to join me today. So moving on to my next question here, how has your support system been as far as your career in music, and what has helped you stay focused?
Okay, so me and Rob help each other and encourage each other with the music. First and foremost, it's our relationship that keeps us motivated to do the music and to keep producing it. And also the fans. The more fans we get, the more we want to do the music, because we want people to hear our message. And the fact that we got feedback from some of them is just amazing. That's what we want. That's why we do it. We do it so it reaches the ears of people all around the world. And this album has actually been listened to in 70 countries.
Wow. Congratulations.
From Papua New Guinea to Australia to Fiji to Thailand to Korea to Japan, China, America, all over 70 countries we've reached with our message.
Incredible. That is incredible.
And as far as our support system goes, we do have a good circle of friends who all love what we do, encourage us and listen to the music and tell us how good it is and tell us what they think of it. And we always test it out on a few people before we release anything, just make sure that they like it. But first and foremost, it's our relationship that keeps us motivated and focused.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
without each other, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
No.
I love that.
I mean, if you said to me, if Row went anywhere, heaven forbid, but you said, okay then Rob, you do the words, now you do the music, no chance. No. I mean, before all this, my big day out was to go to a place called Cannon Hall in Huddersfield, Huddersfield area, and have a cup of tea and a scone. That was my big day out. I led a really exciting life. You like that kind of thing.
And the most important thing is that when I met Rob, I did say to him, come with me, it won't be boring.
Never in the history of the universe has such a statement rung true. Frightening, terrifying, you name it, it's been it. But one thing it has never been is boring. It is
100%.
just not possible. There might be a lot of people out there that don't like what we do, and you know what it's like now, don't you? You've just got to say just the slightest thing out of context, or somebody doesn't like it, and they want your head on a pole. China and all those, there's not enough heads to go of my heads to go around on the poles if they wanted. And I laugh about it. I obviously don't understand the situation.
And that's okay.
It's okay. I said that in jest, but because who am I? Who am I?
Right.
I just feel like I did when I was going having a cup of tea and a bun, just a little more terrified. That's all. But motivated.
All right. So my next question here is, do you guys collaborate with other people, other artists, other producers? What does that look like within your dynamic of producing music?
So I've worked personally with a lot of different people on side projects. We did actually do a song on our last album with a guy called Kevin Kitchen, who is a big friend of mine. And he used to be famous in the 80s. He had an album in the charts and a song in the charts, in the UK charts in 1980 something. And he is a brilliant songwriter and a brilliant singer and a brilliant guy to know.
Yeah, he is.
I've worked with American rappers. I've worked with artists from university. I've worked with other people I've met along the way. I've worked with Paul Quinn of Saxon, who is a big friend of ours, and he's a great guy. Yes. And he's done some guitar work for a project I'm working on at the moment, and he's brilliant. So yeah, we have collaborated, not very extensively on Equal Frequencies, I have to say, but on my side projects, definitely. Many different ones.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel those experiences have played into when you guys come together and make music and create the things that you create?
Well, I started making more guitar arrangements since I met Paul and Kevin, because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. So our vibe has slightly changed from more electronic to more pop, rock electronic in the last album. And that's a direct influence from my friends. I mean, I like that vibe. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And it seemed to fit really well with what we were doing. And he actually proves more popular than anything we've done previously. My background is all electronic dance music. I mean, my side projects are electronic dance music. But then Rob's influence has come in as well. I mean, Rob's worked with guitarists, drummers, you name it. And that vibe has definitely shaped what we've been doing this last time.
Okay. Yeah, then we did the other album, didn't we? Symbiotic, because the symbiotic.
Right.
It's self-explanatory. Old, new, young, you know.
Right.
So,
okay.
That did very well, didn't it? That did very well.
Okay. All right. So as we're coming to an end here on our time, I do just have a couple questions that I've stormed up in my head. So to give some advice for those who may be couples that are coming into music, or who are couples in a relationship that just have a love for music and now they're deciding that they want to work together, what kind of advice do you have for them as far as that type of experience and making sure that it's separate in a way? Because I know that sometimes relationship and work or career can, when they cross roads, it can be very bad. So it seems like it works really well for y'all.
I would say keep your own roles separate. So Rob knows that he doesn't interfere with the music, because if he did, it might start a fight. Which won't be good.
I won't interfere.
because he doesn't know what I know about music production. So I would say keep your roles separate, but lean into each other for focus, because if each one of you is motivated to write and to produce together, then you will come up with the goods, and they will be the product will be brilliant.
Yeah, I think the thing is, you should know your strengths and your weaknesses, and you should respect your partner's strengths and know. I mean, as I said when we first started, it wasn't like that when I was a youngster. All these technicalities and technical tricks and things like that, they were just not available. So I totally respect Rowena's knowledge, and I just contribute as much as I possibly can without going over the...
When I've completed a song, I always play it to Rob, the completed song, just to see what he thinks of the vibe and how it feels to him. Because I respect his opinion, and it's his lyrics, and I want to treat them in the right way.
Yeah. So
I always play him the song when I've finished it. And I never get a bad review. He always loves it because that's how we work well together. And I think if you have a loving, stable relationship with somebody, I think working together can be an absolute joy.
I love that.
It's quite uplifting. I mean, I'll listen to something being created, and I'll just sort of, how on earth, that's just, I'll put my head around the door and say, hey, that's absolutely great. I love it, And it's like that. It's like that all the time. So I know my place, you see, and
know your roles, be respectful.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that. Well, before we get out of here, I do want you guys to talk about your latest music that you have out. Make sure that they know where to stream that at, where to check that out at, and give a little bit of context for them so that they can, get some excitement for them to go and check it out.
Okay, our latest album is called The Winds of Revolution, and the first song on the album is my attempt to be Bob Dylan. I wrote the lyrics for it.
That's the lyrics. Yeah, she's brilliant.
I wrote the lyrics for it, and I wrote the music for it, and it's called Winds of Revolution, and it's a very poetic, ideological view of the world, and it's quite interesting. And then there are some other songs. There's The Sound of Freedom about the film that we mentioned before, There's a song on there called Crown of Thorns, which is about Jesus Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane. I wrote the words for that. There's another song called Eternity Awaits, which is about vaccines and COVID and various other interesting things.
You can't mention that on YouTube, can you?
And then there is another song on there called Creeping Evil, which is about what's on TV. And that is our most popular song. It's had like 25,000 streams on its own.
Wow.
So that one is the most popular. And then there's another one called Ivory Tower. In your ivory tower on the hill, how many more will your ignorance kill, is the lyrics. And that's about the White House. Rob wrote that.
I wrote that. I was listening to Colonel Douglas McGregor, a very intelligent man who knows a lot about military history, and he just described him as being ignorant, I think. I don't want to misquote him because I could get into a lot of trouble, but they don't know about this and they don't know about that and they don't know about the other. So I thought I would slip it in, and so I did. And I get, I listen to a lot of people, and I listen to people who have done this. They've seen, they've been in battles. They know all about military stuff, and I listen to what they have to say, and I think, oh, yeah, oh, wow, yeah, that's a good line. I think I'll incorporate that in a song. But of course, they're much better at explaining anything that I am. But I just do my best.
And finally, on the album is a song called Whispers of Paradise, which is all about the Garden of Eden and how it relates to today. So it's an interesting compilation of things to listen to, and there are different aspects of all kinds of different things in the album, but we've tried to make an eclectic mix that blends well together, and I think we achieved that because it's been the most popular release we've done, so It's all good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear it. I hope others that are listening to this interview will be excited to listen to it after they finish with the interview, because they have to finish the interview first. But thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. This has been Equal Frequencies. If you guys have any personal shout outs you would like to say right now, and then, of course, please let them know your social media and where they can check out your music.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us, Denny.
So I would like to just shout out to Kevin Kitchen, my friend who I mentioned previously. He's a brilliant guy, brilliant musician, brilliant songwriter, and he's helped me so much over the years with my music and appraising it and giving me advice. And thank you so much, Kevin. And Paul Quinn, thank you, Paul, for all your advice. Thank you for your guitar playing. Thank you for your friendship. Excellent guy. And finally, you can reach us on youtube.com/equalfreaks, FREQS, getter.com equalfreaks, and we are also on Instagram under the same link and Twitter under the same link, and that's where you can find us. We're also on Spotify under Equal Frequencies, and you can find all our videos on YouTube. We've made some lyric videos, so there are some interesting videos with some nice footage that you can watch on our channel.
Nice. He's like, it's all road.
Next videos as well. What am I doing here?
You supply the lyrics. You supply the good words. Thank you so much.
Derek.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining me. Please go and check them out. All of the links that they just mentioned will be in the description below, where you can click them right away and check them out. Follow them. Check out their latest album. Please. Thank you so much, Rob and Rowena, for joining me. They are Equal Frequencies. This is the Natural on the Wave Spotlight segment. It's a grown-up podcast. Make sure y'all stay safe and be kind. That's it. What's good, YouTube? Host and producer of the Grown Up Podcast, Derek here. First and foremost, I hope you enjoyed that interview. It was a late release, but we had a really great conversation, and those are really great, kind human spirits who are really trying to push a conversation and an agenda out here that not a lot of people are trying to push. So I'm so glad that they were able to grace the podcast, that we were able to finally get that interview done, and I hope y'all enjoyed it like I said. Now, other than that, like I said, I'm showing face. I want y'all to see me. I want to add a video element to the podcast, but I don't know if I want to just do these little videos for y'all, show more face on social media, or if I want to directly record the podcast and do a nice setup for y'all and everything. So I'm still figuring that part out, but if y'all can rock with me and we can grow on this YouTube platform, then I appreciate all the love and I'm grateful for whatever comes. Okay, so stay locked in with the podcast. New episodes dropping monthly, and make sure y'all are supporting the independents. Support these people that are gracing the podcast. I'm so thankful and so grateful that they're allowing me to have them on the podcast, and we're having great conversations. We're having a good time. We're connecting, and I'm just thankful that I'm getting to meet all different kinds of people on a constant basis with putting this podcast on. So if you love having a good time, if you love celebrating independence, if you love independent music, if you love meeting and understanding different types of people, then Grown Up Podcast is the podcast for you to be tuning into, and you should do it right now. All right, you can head to grownuppodcast.info, or you can check me out at the Cube app. You can check me out everywhere. I'm streaming everywhere, okay? You can check me out right here. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Make sure y'all staying safe and being kind out there. I'll see y'all on the podcast side, all right? Let's go. Oh yeah, one last thing. Head to the description below to check out Equal Frequencies, where you can see their links, click them right away, follow them, check out their music, and then head right back here for a brand new artist for the Natural N.O.W Spotlight segment every month. I appreciate the love, and make sure y'all stay tapped in, all right? Let's go.